Your bookkeeping is weak, and soon it's going to matter. My name is Paul Vázquez with Tax Lab, and you need to become an ethical millionaire. So, you probably, if you're in business, have you've probably done the bare minimum, right? The bare minimum of opening up a separate bank account. Hopefully you've done that bare minimum thing of opening up a separate bank account to track your spending on the business. And maybe you've even taken the next step of having some type of accounting program like QuickBooks where it brings that data in and then you can begin to categorize that data. Hopefully you're getting to that point. Unfortunately, QuickBooks does not actually do it for you. They like to put that in their commercials, but the only thing they're doing for you is pulling in the data from a linked account. If for some reason your account cannot be linked to QuickBooks, they're not even doing that. You're going to have to do it manually. You could possibly download a file from that institution and upload it, or you could be doing all the transactions by hand. They are integrating now with some AI, but once again, the AI is like having AI for programming. Unless you're a programmer, you're going to have a hard time understanding what the AI is doing and what to do with it. Same with the accounting AIs. Unless you're in the industry, you're going to have a hard time understanding what it's doing, why it's saying, and why. You could spend time learning, of course, 100%, please do. But you can't rely on AI to do it. But here's what's going to get you. The IRS is starting to use AI. They're going to start. If they haven't already, they're going to start. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they be using AI? And that means it's going to have a whole lot easier time identifying inconsistencies, identifying things that they're going to want additional proof on. The AI is going to be given the standard. And they're going to say, okay, you need receipts, not just the bank statement. You're going to need receipts because your bank statement doesn't show what was purchased. It doesn't break down that purchase into sales tax, into the items, into your protection plan on your bookkeeping. It doesn't break all that down. All that's coming in from your credit card statement or your bank is that you spent X dollars at Amazon. It doesn't break down shipping, sales tax, anything like that. But the IRS code is set up to have those things broken down. And so when you shove that all into an AI, it has no qualms about telling you that it needs supporting documentation for everything. So if you're not keeping receipts, if you're not uploading these receipts, attaching them to your bookkeeping in such a way that it's going to be easy for you, when they finally get around to putting your data into the AI, I think it's going to be a field day for taxpayers until they figure out how to rein back in the AI. But you're probably going to see these kind of explosions where the AI is just going to be on a rampage, and you're going to be in the way of all the shrapnel, and they're going to be asking you to prove it with receipts. So if your bookkeeping game is not strong, you need to get there. If you don't want to get there and you're happy to pay someone else to do it, go to lab.tax, click on advisory services, get a free 15-minute introductory phone call. We want to get people through the advisory program, or at least the comprehensive consult first, because this is where we learn the level of bookkeeping that you're going to need. If not, maybe we should just be charging the highest amount of bookkeeping that we can, and then when you don't do that, everybody's happy. But oftentimes that's not the case. We want something closer, come up with our rate close to the amount of work that it's actually going to take to do your bookkeeping. Every business is different. You might have a business where you guys have a handful of clients and you've got 5 or 6 transactions every month, maybe 10. That's a very different business from a general store or a gas station where you've got stuff coming in all the time, a hairdresser where you're using multiple different systems. You're using a different system to track your sales. You're using a different system to track your, because a lot of times people are using Square. Square does not have a real bookkeeping tool in there. So you have to kind of couple Square with an actual accounting program that's actually going to produce reports that can be used on a tax return. Square alone is not doing that. Your bank alone is not doing that. I have not seen any of these invoicing or POS, point of sale systems that have an adequate bookkeeping in there. QuickBooks, their point of sale system is not great, and most people aren't using it because it slows down. It would slow down your transactions and make it so grueling for everybody. So it becomes a multi-system approach, which means bookkeeping is now even more difficult. And the AI, once again, it might get there, but it's not. You have to know what it is it needs to understand. You have to give it the context to make the connections. It's not doing it for you. And the same thing's going to happen with the IRS. It's going to go in there and make a big mess and ask you, taxpayer, to prove everything that you submitted. So I'm seeing it coming. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they do test groups, which you could end up being a part of, and that they roll it out. But even the AI companies themselves, their AIs hallucinate, just come up with crazy stuff because they're reading mystery novels just as much as they're reading textbooks. So the context is the king right now for AI, and if you don't have enough data to feed them at the IRS, I think your bookkeeping's weak, and it's going to keep you from peace and sanity as we go on. Or throw it all in our pocket. We're going to be working with you. We're going to be asking for the receipts. We're going to be that accountability partner. We're going to be there with the QuickBooks or whatever bookkeeping system we can help you with. And we're going to be the ones saying, okay, now we need the receipt. When you went out to that business lunch, let us know who was there. What did you guys talk about? Because that's what the IRS AI is going to be asking for. So I'm giving you guys fair warning now. Don't let your weak bookkeeping keep you from peace and tranquility, because it's why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they employ AI? Come up with a good reason why they're not going to try it. Let me know. I'd like to hear a good reason why they're not going to try to use AI to shove more data in there and get more find more errors, find more issues that need further clarification. It's not going to destroy the accounting industry. It's not going to destroy your industry, because you need industry expertise to help give the AI context right now. It doesn't have enough. It's got more cat memes running through its head than anything else. I wish you guys all the success.